I remember being at CVS deciding that I cannot afford this pack of gum. I went from that to now we travel all around the world, wherever we want to go, luxury vacations, knock on wood, making
millions of dollars. Yeah.
Millions of dollars a year. I have 1 million followers and counting on social media. I never had a vision board in my life. I am going to tell you how to manifest your dream life, and it is not the same information that these people are regurgitating and giving to you that doesn't actually work.
And this just happens to be the way we both manifest things. And I actually started, worse than you did.
Way worse than I did. He started in the projects.
Yeah.
And he made his way up even further than me. Something that's very similar about us is that we are very strong manifestors. The biggest thing that I think that people misunderstand about manifestation is that you are not manifesting the thing, you are manifesting the opportunity.
Yep.
And most people are not looking at that opportunity and doing whatever they can to jump on it. They're constantly ignoring opportunities. You're waiting for someone like this perfect situation to fall into your lap, and you're not understanding that it doesn't go from 0 to 100. But we didn't start at not being able to afford anything to then being on a luxury vacation.
It doesn't even go from 0 to 50.
Yeah.
It gives you just a little bit, like a 10%, here's your opportunity to do something. But if you're like, all right, I'm going to manifest this, grand life, and I'm just going to wait for it to be handed to me because the universe gives me what I deserve or whatever it is. Yeah, the universe gives you what you deserve. But it, like you said, it gives you the opportunity to get what you deserve, not the thing.
And it does, and it's not always very obvious, but you have to be so willing to take those risks because you are so dead set on that being what you want to manifest that you are able to see how it can take you there.
You have to be willing and ready, because that's another thing. It will come to you and you can't shy away from it because sometimes it'll give you something that's a little hard and out of your comfort, or uncomfortable, and you have to be ready to take that uncomfortable step. We've known people that wouldn't take that step just because of something that their family would think.
It's always something that about your family or people in your life. You have to be so willing to cut off things that are going on in your life, people in your life. Maybe it's a boyfriend that's holding you back. Maybe it's your family. You have to be ready like that to cut off certain parts of your life to take the opportunities that you are manifesting. You might be a great manifester, but you're constantly ignoring the opportunities.
Exactly. I mean, in my own business, when I first started, I was given an offer basically to do a project. I had no company. I was just like, all right, yeah, I could do it. I wasn't like, oh, give me 3 months, give me some time. It was just like, no, I'm just going to go for it.
He took this meeting without even having a company.
They were offering me the meeting. Well, what am I going to say? No, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do my best. And I'm not going to be scared of it. If I'm actually thinking this is what I want in my life and this is how I want my life to be, when that's the ultimate handoff there. It's here's a meeting. That's the 10%. So now I know that I have to do a bunch of stuff after. I have to do the 90% of the work, but I'm not going to be like, oh no, well, I'm going to wait until I get the 100%. I'm going to wait till someone gives me a company and all the money that I'm going to make off of it because that's what I deserve, right? No one gets that.
Partially for me, a lot of it was social. I put myself in social situations that were potentially uncomfortable so many times. The amount of things that I have done alone just to get myself out there constantly. And most people don't feel comfortable doing that. The other thing is, if there's things in your life that you feel are uncomfortable to you, that's exactly what you need to be doing. Every single time I noticed that something made me uncomfortable, I was like, oh, I need to get incredible at this.
Yep. You have to use that as your guide. I was the same way. You're putting so much energy into thinking about your dream life, but then you make no moves towards it.
Yeah. You can't just sit in your living room and cut things out of a magazine. To me, if all you're doing is vision boarding, you're manifesting being a kindergartner playing with glue. That's not what's going to work. Yeah. I have never done that in my life. I would say if you were going to do little tricks, say you want to do little manifestation tricks. Now, I'll get into really, if you're going to sit down and manifest something, I'll get into that. But say you're really just looking for something quick and actionable. And I think that's the reason that people do vision board is because Yeah, they feel comfortable going to the store and buying a magazine and cutting out the little things and gluing it onto a piece of paper. And I'm not coming at you, like, if that's what you're doing and you like that, I'm really not trying to. What bothers me is the people that are acting like that's all it takes without giving you any of the real stuff that you need to manifest what you want. But if you do want like a quick little thing, what I would recommend more is go to the places that you would be if you were living in the dream life that you had. Say it's monetary. So if you have enough money, you'd be going into like the Gucci store. Like it's so weird. We were taking a walk today, writing down topics about what we wanted to do, talking about manifestation. What do we see? Is a group of women,
like 15 women
sitting in a circle, making a vision
boards.
And I was like, that is too weird. But that is like the quickness with which we manifest. It actually, it makes me think that manifestation is actually just a magic trick. Like, actually what we've called it is the law of magic, because that's how it feels. And that's how it should
weird
feel
things happen to us all the time, like the weirdest things.
And then right as we're walking by them and I'm saying, oh, that's really weird, I think that they were just vision boarding, I'm thinking about one of my best friends who's always vision boarding. She's sitting on the bench a foot away from us.
And not realizing that there's a group of women vision boarding.
So we walk past these women, they're vision boarding, and he was like, oh, she literally had Gucci on her vision board. And I was like, see, honestly, the advice that I would give to that woman is go into the Gucci store, put on an outfit that you think you would wear as the woman that you want to be, walk into the Gucci store, peruse, like look at the items.
Make it part of your reality. Like make it, because it's about the feeling. Also, I don't even really believe in manifesting things. I don't think that you should put Gucci on a vision board. But if you are that type of person, it's better to do that. Those
type of things can help you create a sensory experience for yourself. Usually, like, what it should be and what really probably is going on is that you're at work, you're unhappy, you feel annoyed that someone is telling you what to do and telling you where to be at a certain time. I think probably what it is that you want to wake up whenever you want to be working on something that you enjoy, you want the freedom to get the things that you want. So you have to focus on the emotion of freedom. But there's no real emotion for I think that's another issue is because in the reality where you're purchasing a bag, that's actually not a strong emotion when it comes down to it. You're gonna get about 20 minutes of excitement out of that, and then you will most likely get buyer's remorse, and then very soon after that, that's not gonna feel like an exciting item to you, and you're just gonna want the next thing. So I don't even think that emotion is going to pull you towards that future, quantum physics speaking, because really what I think manifestation is like actually shifting you into this reality,
into a different state
that
at least,
already exists. Which is the way you have to think of it, is that you are inhabiting the emotion that you have in the reality in which that reality exists already.
Exactly.
And a Gucci bag purchase is not a strong enough emotion to push you into that reality.
But the emotion of having the freedom to buy whatever you want is okay. I was in the projects, I was broke. I never was like, oh, I want Gucci, I want, all these like designer things. My entire mindset was like, I don't want to worry about bills. I want to be comfortable. Yeah, because it's such a strong emotion probably to be in a situation where you're supporting your whole family. You're in a bad situation. You need to get out of that. Yeah, so it's just comfort. I don't care about all this other stuff. I never even put a dollar amount of like, I want to make $1 million. Some people put dollar amounts. I want to make $1 billion. That's insane. I remember he would say, well, what am I going to do with $1 million? I was like, he didn't care, but you know what he did care about is he had clients at the time. I remember we were sitting at the diner and he was just like, I need my own product that I don't have any clients that I'm dealing with and trying to get money from them each week. So that I know is a very strong emotion for him, and he manifested that company pretty quick. And when I say manifested, I worked my ass off, but it was through that emotion, and that's what you're trying to say. It's like the manifestation comes through the emotion. Like if I didn't really care about it, if I didn't care about having that feeling, and it was just like, oh, I want to start a company because I want to make money, I don't think I would have. You wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't have cared enough to go through it. But it's like I wanted that feeling so bad that freedom. The freedom, and every single time an opportunity presented itself, I just went and pushed, and any setbacks I went through.
Yes.
Because I cared about that feeling.
And he was very willing to let things go. Like he let go of his full-time job at one point, because that's what you have to do. So let's get into like what is manifesting. Like if you were to sit down and manifest, that is maybe a piece that I think people are missing a little bit, because you need to sit down, you need to be in a calm state. You get yourself in this state where you're so calm that it feels almost hypnotic. It's almost a dream-like state where you are imagining this reality so much that you feel all the emotions of it very clearly, and it's very relaxed. It is not exciting, because it wouldn't be exciting to you, because it would be your reality.
Yep.
You will feel good. You will feel happy. When you know you're in that state where you're actually manifesting, you will feel more relaxed than you've ever felt. You will feel kind of like you're on something, to be honest. And, it's a meditative state, but I would not call it meditation, because meditation, you're not having any thoughts. Right. And we can go into, meditation in another video if you guys want. Like, comment, let me know.
We wrote a whole book about it.
Yeah, we wrote a book about that, Modern Buddhism. If you guys, are interested in that, we could talk more about it. But one of the things that I think that is a key indicator that you're actually in a state of manifestation is you will physically feel this radiation coming, I'd say from your chest, but it's literally from your heart. And there are actually I was so shocked when I eventually read some of Joe Dispenza's stuff, because what he was saying is that there's like a frequency coming from your mind of the thoughts that you're having about the reality that you want. And that frequency emanates a little bit, but it's actually the frequency that's coming from your heart that is projecting that frequency outward. And I read that and I was like, no way. I thought I was just imagining this shit, because like I've manifested things so much, but I never really got it from anywhere. I'm just thinking maybe I'm being a little crazy and just not talking about it and not thinking about it because I didn't want to jinx anything. But I was like, is there really science behind this? Even if there wasn't science behind it, I'm telling you that's what it is. And just using construction paper is not the key to this.
Yeah, one of the ways that I personally I think see a shift, there's certain things that you just dream about, and when you don't dream about it, then it starts to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Elaborate.
For example, if I start a project, if it's constantly on my mind while it's going on, and I'm dreaming about it, and I'm thinking of logistics, all through my head, it almost surely is not going well. But once it's just like stress. A full let go, and I'm not thinking about it, I'm not dreaming about it, then it just starts to work.
That is the other thing. It's like you have, I'm not saying you should be in this state all the time. I'm talking about you use this maybe 10 minutes. And you maybe do it when you just start to feel like you're getting to that point where you're a little too much about logistics and you're a little bit stressed.
Yep.
You got to take a step back and sit down and get calm, and then you just get in that state where you're manifesting, just to kind of clear your mind of the logistics of it and just get into the emotional state. You put that out there.
Yep.
To me now, you're just letting the universe know, hey, this is an update on what I want.
What I want, as far as what I want to feel like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it could be a thing. It could be for example, you want this object or experience, but it has to be backed by something to make you feel like this.
Yes. And I would add, honestly, something that I do is I put it out there. I don't have a religion or something, but to me, I'm almost talking to God, the universe. And when I do this, I'm almost with my heart saying this is the emotion I want. This is the situation I want, but only if it's what's going to make me happy. Because you don't always know. And this is our issue. This is what he always says about vision boards, is you're getting too specific.
Yep.
And you don't know the reality of these situations until they happen. So if you have a specific car and a specific purse and a specific man and a specific destination, you are blinders up to what maybe are the real opportunities for what you actually want. And you might also, now you're not factoring in, you're not putting the emotion in of what you really want. If you're stressed right now and you're trying to manifest, you might just be manifesting more stress. Most likely what's going to end up happening, you'll manifest a job where you're making a lot of money and you're extremely stressed out.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And also you're limiting. I feel like a vision board is always limiting. I don't care what you put on that vision board, it's limiting, because from the state that you're in now, you don't know what ultimately you're going to want. Step by step, like, take it from us, who we've come from nothing to, anything, anything that we want. Constantly. It always changes. You think that you want that thing right now because you don't have a lot of things. You're not going to keep stacking up a vision board. You have to go for the feeling. And
you're not going to want to throw it out. You're not going to be like, let me throw this vision board in the garbage. You won't do that. So you're going to get stuck.
Most of the stuff that's happened in our lives has been indirect things. When you're planning on things, you want to think about the short-term goals, for example, for sure. But the long-term goal should be how you're going to feel and how that's going to enrich your life, right? It's like how much easier your life could get because of a certain thing. Like that's a great way to look at it. It's just like, if I have money, then I'm going to feel really comfortable throughout my day, or the things that I'm doing generally week to week is just going to get much, much easier for me. It's extremely open-ended.
So you don't get so discouraged.
Yeah, you don't get discouraged, and you don't know where it's going to go and how are you going to get to that point.
You're open to how you're going to get there.
Exactly.
And you're open to that reality of what you do want changing almost every day if you needed to.
Yeah. And another thing that we should really talk about is to not talk about it.
Yeah.
The amount of people, and she's crazy with it. Like, she literally is just like, don't ever speak about anything because you're going to jinx it all the time. The time.
I think because when you talk about it, it's almost like letting the air out of a balloon. It's like all the emotions that you have pent up in your body about that desire for it. When you speak on it, it lets it out. It lets out the
energy. It's almost like you get it. Like, it's almost like you're getting it. By saying
that it's happening, you are telling yourself that it is already happening. But it's not. So it's no longer something that you're trying to manifest. It's no longer something you're working for.
Yep.
And you don't have it yet.
And that's the crazy problem about the manifestation, which we always see, is because they act like they already have it.
I don't think that you should act like you already have it. I think that you should assume that with time it will be, if that is what is truly meant to be and that is truly what you want.
Yes. At the ultimate level. And in that meantime, you are open to everything that comes your way that has even a little bit to do with the ultimate feeling that you want.
And for every time that things don't work out the way that you want, you have to let it go. Because for every time you get so stressed and discouraged, what you're doing is putting yourself in the state of it didn't work. And that's, now you're manifesting it not working. When it doesn't work out, you just have to be like, oh, okay, so that isn't how it was going to go.
Yep, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
And then when you get so specific, that's the reason that things don't work out, because you're like, well, I didn't get it. Where's my Gucci bag? Well, that wasn't important, babe. So don't worry about it. Sorry.
No, seriously.
But for now, I'd say, lastly, until I think of something more, I'll write down 10 more things to talk about next time. You have to allow it to take time. Manifestation, at the end of the day, is kind of a natural phenomenon. And when you think about it, everything goes at the pace of nature. So if you plant a seed, it's going to grow.
Yep.
But if you just decide to give up on it and you stop watering it, then no, it's never going to grow. Yep. But if you water it and you wait and you assume that it's going to work out because at the pace of nature, a tree will grow, then it will grow. Yep. You have to allow it to have that time.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we started this new channel.
We want to do more long form content.
I don't know if you guys know my other social media accounts, but I tend to focus more on short form content. But in reality, I have much more advice that I can give in long form. Yeah. But we're starting this new channel in order to get the algorithm to the people that we directly want, because we had other types of content on there. So we're starting fresh with this one. So if you are
If you're actually
very interested in this,
then subscribe.
If you are not, please don't. Don't subscribe to me if you're just like, oh, I know her from the relationship stuff. Don't, because you're actually going to mess up my algorithm. So if you like this kind of stuff, then subscribe, and then I'm happy to see you. But thank you guys for joining. Leave comments if there's other things you want to talk about. If you want, me to talk about it.
If you've gotten this far in the video, please leave a comment.
But thank you guys.
All right.
See you next time.